Good afternoon and welcome to Muskegon Rotary. My name is Tim Arter and I have the pleasure of serving as your president this year. Today's program will be how to prevent internet fraud. It's going to be a popular one, I think. It's actually entered people in my life. So we will have two member inductions. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a reflection from Andy Bulow. And there will be a moment of silence afterwards. We'll get to that when it happens. We will recite the four-way test at the end of the meeting. So at this time, let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And
good afternoon. One nation indivisible with liberty and justice for all. We say these words every week, and although I deliberately leave out the under God part, it was not part of the original pledge but only added in 1954, and I leave it out not because I don't believe in God, but because the pledge belongs to all Americans, including many others who do not. And I think the pledge is meant to unite us, not divide us. We say these words every week, and as co-chair of your Committee for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, I hope we mean them. I've been thinking a lot about what they mean to me. What kind of nation do we dream of when we say the pledge? And I want to share a few of my thoughts. I dream of a country where we honor our differences, where we disagree and yet commit to working together for the common good, regardless of our party affiliation. I dream of a country that honors the spirit of Rotary's four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all? Will it build goodwill? And will it benefit us all? As an arts administrator, I dream of a country where the arts and humanities are as strongly valued as STEM, and where higher education is not valued only as a means of chasing affluence and privilege, but as a time for students to immerse themselves in the world of ideas and learn to be thinking, responsible citizens. I dream of a country where we don't fear our history, but where we teach it to our children honestly, including our best moments and our worst. I dream of a country where no one seeks to impose their value system on others by force, where we tell all our young people, whether they're straight, queer, or trans, that they are beautiful and okay just the way they are. Where even if you don't share someone else's values or agree with their lifestyle, you'll still bake them a cake on the most important day of their lives. I dream of a country where we welcome the alien, the stranger, the immigrant, where they will live with a sense of safety as they seek a path to citizenship. For unless we are members of an indigenous nation, we were all immigrants to these shores at one time. I invite you to join all of us as Rotarians and as Americans, and let's build this kind of community and nation. Thank you.
at this time, I'd like to have a moment of silence. A long-time devoted Rotary member and steward of our community, Dr. Mergen, passed away on Tuesday night. So I'd like to take a moment of silence, if you would, please. Thank you. And also, while you're standing, John Nolan called me this morning. He requested prayers for Phyllis Wahlberg, wife of John Wahlberg, who was hit by a drunk driver while she was a pedestrian. She's had multiple, she has a traumatic brain injury and she's been incurring multiple surgeries since last week. So please keep them in your prayers. So at this time, please return to your seats and enjoy your meal. At this time, would Rotarians with guests please come forward? Any visiting Rotarians, please come forward for introductions.
Good afternoon, Dave Alexander, again here with Martha Fulbrook. Martha was with me last week, and since we were here, she has made application. It's been approved by the board. She'll be going on for new membership orientation and eventually induction. Martha Fulbrook from Merrill Lynch.
Hello, everyone. Glad to see that everyone arrived safely. I'm Kat Hyder with Catchmark Technologies, and today I have my good friend Jay here. He is from Beyond 26, and if you don't know anything about Beyond 26, they help adults with disabilities find jobs. So he's looking to connect with local companies that are looking to work with him. Thank you for having us.
Melissa Moore with Reed Muskegon, and for those of you who don't know, outside of my time at Reed Muskegon, I'm also a proud member of the Whitehall District Schools Board of Education. So, so some of you may know that Jerry McDowell, our longtime superintendent, retired, announced that in August. We were lucky enough as a board to have a really great internal candidate in CJ Van Weeren, who was our assistant superintendent at the time. I'm also always proud to say, when he first arrived in Whitehall, my daughter, who's now 22, was lucky enough to be in his very first 5th grade class, and she will say today that he is one of her very favorite teachers that she ever had. He was our middle school principal before becoming the assistant superintendent. We are really, really excited as of January to have offered him the full-time position as our superintendent, so I hope you guys will all help me welcome him. He is a White Lake Rotary member, but we'll try to get him down here every once in a while. You also might recognize him because he was also the quarterback of the Ferris State football team and played basketball for them at one time, so very multi-talented. Hey, got it.
Hi, everyone. Kendra Robinson here, and I have 2 wonderful students visiting with us from Muskegon Covenant Academy. Let's give them a hand this morning, or this afternoon. And with us, we have the assistant principal, Ms. Melton, and she's going to introduce 2 of the students. One, I believe, is still stepped out, so we'll just do with the one we have here today.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, everybody. As she said, I'm Miss Melton from Muskegon Covenant Academy. This is one of our bright, aspiring students, Janarion Briggs.
I'm very glad to be here today, and it looked beautiful in here, I could say. It seemed like a nice and peaceful place to be in. I didn't really know I was gonna come here today, but yeah, I'm a senior, if I didn't know, a good one that just want to work, that got drive, that's trying to inspire people, because I'm a young man, then, you want good things in life, want to inspire people.
And can you tell a little bit about what you're doing at the Career Tech Center?
Yep, and I'm getting, welding and Career Tech Center. It's going good. you just gotta push to it and have faith.
Anything you want to do next year?
Next year, I just want to, continue to work and have drive with the, opportunities you can have in life.
Thank you, Joanne.
Very well done. At this time, you will call on Melissa Horton to introduce today's program.
Thank you. I get the pleasure of introducing Troy Baker to you today, and sitting at the table over lunch and being able to converse with him, this is going to be a great program, I can tell you already. He knows so much, and there's so much fraud out there. So, Troy is the Vice President of the Community Relations and Educational Foundation at the Better Business Bureau. He oversees the organization's marketing, communications, and community engagement, along with running the Better Business Bureau's 501c3 educational foundation. Troy joined the BBB in 2018 after nearly 20 years as having a 20-year career in journalism, where he won several awards, including an Emmy, for stories focused on consumer protection. Through the work of the BBB Educational Foundation, Troy has become a leader in fraud prevention programs, training staff across the country on these types of programs and fraud prevention. So join me in welcoming Troy Baker.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me. I appreciate coming in. It's glad we all made it safely. That's always a good thing here. So, yeah, my name is Troy Baker. I'm with the Better Business Bureau, and I can go ahead and we'll start with the first slide here. This is a presentation, a scaled down a little bit because of time presentation that we do all across our service area, West Michigan, called Red Flags of Fraud. We talk to a lot of organizations about scams and fraud prevention and how to be wise consumers, because we know that if we can educate people on what to avoid, they will naturally go to those trustworthy businesses in our community and keep those dollars local as opposed to going off to scammers overseas. So anything we can do to help educate people on what to avoid and be safe is best for everybody. And then I can go now. If I hit the right direction, there you go. So a little bit about what the Better Business Bureau is. We're a nonprofit organization founded more than 100 years ago by good business owners that were sick of bad business owners ripping people off. The goal was to create an independent organization that would set standards for businesses and help enforce those standards. And that's what we work today. We want to find and support trustworthy businesses that treat you as consumers the right way. There are about 92 locations all across the US and Canada. We cover the entire west side of the Lower Peninsula out of our office. We have staff members who live here in Muskegon. My office is in Grand Rapids. We have people in Traverse City, Kalamazoo, that entire west side of the line here. We're going to talk about scams today, and this is something we do talk about a lot with a number of different programs. Along with organizations like this and presentations like this, we were talking at the table, we have a program in schools. And most of the public schools in Muskegon County have this program in free of charge through our educational foundation called Scam Busters, which teaches students about scams and how to be wise consumers in a game format. So most of the public schools have us in. We're also at the Career Tech Center in the public safety class that does that. We also have business presentations. So we talk to business groups, both about how to build trust within their organization and with their customer base, and how to avoid scams that specifically target businesses, because businesses are also a target of scammers. If you own a business or a leader, you've probably had somebody try to take money from you as well. So we really want to help educate people on both ends of this. I'm going to hit the wrong way both times here. So let's look at a little bit about what the local impact is here. These are just some of the reports that I pulled out of our scam tracker from the Muskegon area. The top one there is one, I spoke to this woman myself, $240,000 lost to a romance scam. $94,000 to a timeshare scam. $80,000 in North Muskegon to a mortgage scam. Another $20,000 in a romance scam. These are big numbers. When a lot of people think about big scams, they think about big cities, New York City, Los Angeles. It's not going to happen here. No, this is absolutely happening right here in our community. And it affects a lot of people. So, what are some of those red flags? So let's talk about one of these tricks, the tricks that the scammers use. The idea of phantom riches. The idea that I'm going to get something really great without a whole lot of work. A lot of lottery scams fall into this. The idea that I don't have to do much, but I'm going to change my life with this lottery prize. Lottery prizes are a huge, huge problem. People start to dream about how their life will change with all the money they lose, and they start to ignore the red flags that come with it. And one story that I have, this woman called me. Her parents thought they had won $500,000 in an online lottery. All they had to do was pay $5,000 in taxes. They didn't have it. They wanted her to lend it to them. When she wouldn't lend them the money, they got upset. So she called me and asked me to talk to her parents. It took me 20 minutes to convince them this was a scam, and it had the biggest red flag I'd ever seen. They were being asked to put $5,000 cash into the middle of a magazine and mail it to an address in Idaho to pay the taxes on their lottery prize. It took me 20 minutes to convince them they've never paid taxes like that before in their lives. But they start to think about all the things, ways their life is going to change, and they start to ignore those red flags. So when it comes to these life-changing prizes, job offers that pay you ridiculous amounts of money for almost no work, there are some things you need to know, especially when it comes to the contests. Did you enter the contest? If you didn't buy a lottery ticket, you didn't win. Right? And it's kind of a basic, but people need to hear that. Never pay to collect a prize. They will come up with all sorts of reasons why it's not paying to collect a prize. If the money comes out of your pocket to get the prize, it's a scam. And you see on here, the picture on the right there, the Publishers Clearinghouse. The first most impersonated entity by scammers every year is Amazon. Kind of makes sense. Everybody shops with Amazon. So it's easy for them to impersonate it. The second most impersonated entity is Publishers Clearinghouse. And I'm going to show you why. Who here has heard of Publishers Clearinghouse? Who here knows exactly how you win Publishers Clearinghouse? Exactly, right? Everybody knows they show up with money. Nobody knows exactly how. And that's what scammers count on. They get to fill in the blanks and tell you this is how you won. Little heads up for you, a trick. There's one way and one way only that you know you won Publishers Clearinghouse. They show up at your door one day with a big check and balloons. That's it. They say it on their website. You know, if they call you, they email you, they send you something in the mail, you did not win. Throw it away, it's a scammer. The next one, the idea of source credibility. They are official. They try to make themselves seem official. We were talking at the table, somebody called in a grandparent scam, and I'm calling on behalf of your grandchild who was injured. They have some sort of official title. Never take that at face value. I'm going to go back one slide here. So this little letter on here is something that a consumer sent to us. It says that they won a bunch of money in a new Mercedes-Benz from Publishers Clearinghouse. Along with that letter were these three letters: Bank of America, Better Business Bureau, and Federal Trade Commission, all attesting that, yes, this prize was real. Look, we're going to make it. None of our organizations have anything to do with lottery prizes. They take a legitimate organization's legitimacy and try to pass it off as their own. So anytime somebody comes to you and says, I'm official, verify it. Don't just take them at their word. That couple that thought they won a lottery prize thought it was real because somebody on the phone said, oh, I'm the lawyer for this organization. Okay, I can say I'm whoever I want to be, but they sounded official, so there was some credibility with that. Social consensus. If everybody wants it, it must be good. I always think of my mom when I was a kid. If everybody jumped off a bridge, would you do it too? Some of us have said that to our own kids. But when it comes to social consensus, that is a big way scammers get you to come in. And it's not just scammers. It can be bad businesses as well. Reviews are a form of social consensus. Just because Google says a company's all 5 stars doesn't mean they're the greatest company in the world. You don't know who put that there. It could be the company up at midnight typing out 5-star reviews about how great they are. One of the great things about the Better Business Bureau is if there are reviews on the Better Business Bureau website, we have verified that that was an actual customer of the business. And if a customer leaves a review for a business, we send it to the business and give that business an opportunity to say, that was not a customer of ours. So we try to verify that. A lot of those platforms don't. So when it comes to looking at reviews, it should be part of your research. It shouldn't be all of your research. Don't just do it because it's got a bunch of reviews. That is a form of social consensus that is very misleading in many cases. The idea of scarcity. This makes me think of when we couldn't find toilet paper a few years ago. I think we all saw those shells. So yeah, the idea of scarcity. If there's not much left, you have to act now. And it goes right along the lines with the idea of a ticking clock. Time is running out, product is limited. The idea of getting you to act now. You don't have time. You have to do this now for some reason. It can be as simple as a website that's got an actual ticking clock on it. This sale expires tomorrow. It can be a scam phone call. I have kidnapped your child, and if you don't go buy all these gift cards and send them to me now, I'm going to murder your kid in 20 minutes. That has happened. They try to get you amped up. They try to get you to not take the time to really do your research. So how do you prevent a lot of this? You know, they use all these tricks, but what can you do to prevent a lot of this? Well, first, be prepared to say no. There's this idea of West Michigan nice. You want to be polite, you want to be helpful. No is a complete sentence, and it is perfectly acceptable. All right? Be prepared to say no. When it comes to these offers, no is probably your default, and it should be. You can register your number with the Do Not Call registry. A little warning on that. It will really only stop legitimate companies that don't already have a relationship with you. It does not stop companies you already work with from calling you. It doesn't stop politicians from calling you. They wrote the law, they exempted themselves. Go figure. And it does not really stop scammers. Scammers are trying to steal everything you own. They don't care they're going to get an extra $500 fine for violating the Do Not Call registry. But it will cut down on some of those other organizations that are just reaching out trying to solicit you. Never rush to a decision and be ready to say no. In fact, I always say follow what I call my Girl Scout cookie rule. If a Girl Scout comes to my door, I ask her if she has any Thin Mints. You can see I kind of like my Girl Scout cookies. Anybody else comes to my door, can I get your information? I'm going to look it up. I'm going to call you back if I'm interested. Ask for ID. If they say they're with Consumers Energy and their badge doesn't say Consumers Energy, they're not with Consumers Energy. That happens a lot, especially as we get summer months, people wandering door to door. Ask for their ID and make sure it really matches what they say they are. Gather information about the offer they have. What are they selling? This goes for on the phone too. Let me learn about you and then do a little research and then come back to you. That offer that's available now on my doorstep, probably going to be good 20 minutes from now. If a company wants your business now, they want it in a few minutes too. You don't have to go all Sherlock Holmes on it to research them. Just a Google search, bbb.org, call a friend, put a post on Facebook, see what people are saying, learn about them first, and then make your decision as to what's best for you. And then I always warn people, never sign anything on the spot. And the reason is some of those door-to-door people are very clever. I've talked to a couple people who say, the kid came to my door and he said, I get it, you don't want to buy this. My boss just needs to know I actually came here. Can you just sign this showing I actually gave you the presentation? What they ended up signing was a contract, and their electricity got switched over to a different supplier. And they found out a month later they had signed a contract. So just don't sign anything at the door. Again, if it's a Girl Scout cookie, please, buy from the Girl Scouts. But really be careful with those door-to-door folks. And the same rules go with on the phone as well. How you pay for things. We talked a little bit at the table about this. How you pay for things really kind of help determine whether it's a legitimate offer or not. Never send cash in the mail. Now, if you want to put $20 into a birthday card and send it to somebody, fine. But the idea of paying for something through the mail with cash is very, very risky, because once it's out of your hands, it is gone. It is never coming back. If it gets lost in the mail, it's gone. If it's a scammer, it's gone. You're not getting it back. Never share gift card numbers. If somebody ever asks you to go to the store and buy gift cards, scratch off the back and either give them the number or take a photo and send it to them. That is always a scam. Legitimate companies never do that. Don't wire money to places you don't know, people you don't know. Wiring money through Western Union used to be the most common way scammers got money. Western Union actually got fined $500 million for it because they knew scammers were using the service and let them do it anyway. There are new protections. If you ever walk up to a Western Union counter now, there's all these fraud warnings. Don't send money to people. So they've switched to other ways, but it still does happen. It is not, I will start right now. It is not the Dave Ramsey answer in here, if anybody follows Dave Ramsey, but my advice is always use a credit card if possible. And the reason is, if you use a credit card, you have additional protections from your bank. If that transaction goes bad, your bank is going to help you get your money back and put it back in. If you send cash, if you wire money, if you do a gift card, that money is gone. It's never coming back. So when possible, use a credit card or a debit card that has that credit card logo on it. You have protections. You can work with your bank to try to get that money back in the event that you do fall victim to a scam. And then a lot of scammers have started going to the peer-to-peer payment apps, Venmo, Cash App, those types of things. These were created to send money to people you know. My oldest son, I still pay for his car insurance. He sends me $45 a week to offset the cost. Just popped into my message this morning that I got paid. That's fine. I know him. We know it's going here. A friend, you're going to send them money to pay for dinner. Fine. But if you're buying something on Facebook Marketplace, don't Venmo them the payment. Most of those platforms, again, just like cash, when the money's gone, it's gone. It is hard to claw back. So really be careful with how you pay for things. Some of the most popular scams that are out there right now. Online shopping scam. The most common scam we hear about at the Better Business Bureau are online shopping scams. Most of the complaints we get start with, I saw it on Facebook. Just because it is a paid advertisement on Facebook does not mean it's legitimate. In fact, many of them are problematic businesses. Buy from places you already know and trust. Lots of people find what they want on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it might be. I would say that's fine. Find what you're interested in buying, and then go to a place you already know and trust that has a good track record of delivering and buy it there. It might cost you a couple dollars more, but you know you're actually going to get it. Walk into the local store down the road and buy it face to face. You know you're going to get it and what you're going to get. Most of those websites that are popping up online now are drop shipping websites. Who here knows what drop shipping is? About half. So a little education for you. When most people think about buying stuff online, they think of the Amazon model. I have a warehouse full of something, you buy it from my website, I take it out of the warehouse, I ship it to you. That's what most people think about when they think about buying online. Drop shipping is different. Drop shipping identifies a product they want to sell. Usually they can get it through AliExpress or a cheap website, and it's made overseas in China or someplace like that. Very cheap. They don't actually have it though. They take the pictures, make a website, and sell it to you. So you buy a watch from me and you pay me $15. I buy it from this website in China for $2, have it shipped directly to you. I'm just a middleman facilitating the purchase, and I'm making a profit on it. There's nothing wrong with that model, except most of these websites have no control over how it gets shipped, when it gets shipped, the quality of the product that comes. So if you tell me it's a valuable watch and you get a cheap thing from overseas, you're out of luck. They almost never have a system ready for returns, consumer complaints. The email on their website just goes into a black hole. You'll never get a response. These are people that are building and running these websites from their apartment in many cases. They don't have inventory. They don't have a way to take it back. So there's not the business structure there in many cases to deal with customer issues that are bound to pop up. So when it comes to these websites, the safest thing to do is find those places you already know and trust and buy it there instead of the website you've never heard of before. And when in doubt, always, always, always check them out ahead of time to see what other people are saying. Because we talk to a lot of people who say, oh, well, if I had just gone to bbb.org, I would have seen they had an F rating and a bunch of complaints because people never got what they ordered. In fact, I was at Muskegon Oak Ridge High School for a presentation a few years ago. This girl came up to me afterwards and said, I'm looking at this website for prom dresses. I don't know if I can trust it or not. So we went to bbb.org right there on our phone and looked up the company, and it had an F rating. And you looked at the complaints, and it was pretty obvious. The dresses were the wrong size, the wrong color. They didn't arrive at all. She looked at it and said, well, looks like I'm finding a new place to buy a prom dress. She avoided falling victim to that. Lots of people can. Just do your research beforehand and be an informed consumer. Romance scams. I talked about the $240,000 scam, Muskegon. These disproportionately affect people 55 and older. That's the typical age group that fall for these. Now, all ages get catfished. I mean, it just happens. But a lot of these start very innocently. I got a text message. It actually asked me a couple weeks ago, you want to go golfing? Look at the weather outside. There's no way we're going golfing right now. I knew it was the wrong number. My wife was sitting next to me. I said, this is a scam, watch. And you return, nope, who is this? Oh, you don't know me. They're being very flirtatious. They realize they don't have the number. Most people realize, oh, I had a wrong number, I'm done. Nope, they want to continue the conversation. They want to get to know you. They want to build a relationship. But in almost every case, they go from nice to meet you to I love you, they're the one I want to live my life with in like 4 days, right? You've never met, but you're totally in love. These are emotional scams though, because lots of people do get emotionally connected. And then when they ask for money or they ask for favors, you do it. And it is hard to get people out of it. And once you're in, they've got you hooked and it is hard to break away. So those are some of the most popular scams we see. My time is up here, so I'm going to stop right here, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
We have time for a couple of questions, no statements, okay? Just questions.
I ought to give that comment to my senior presentations. I always give myself an extra hour after the presentation's done with senior groups.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm sure it's very valuable to everybody here. One question I have is, you see it on TV all the time about your mortgage being stolen. Does the Better Business Bureau come into that very often?
Yeah, that does happen. The idea that people go and file paperwork to basically take over your home and claim that the property belongs to them instead of you. There are a lot of municipalities, a lot of clerk's offices are putting procedures in place to spot that and prevent that. There's not a lot that can be done other than if they offer some sort of service that can notify you when new filings are made on your property, take absolute advantage of it. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen enough that people are worried about it.
I have a comment. I'm sorry, Tim. I apologize. But I just wanted to state, there are two scams. I'm an attorney, so I've seen this with clients, and I just wanted to bring it to people's attention. I hope Tim's not mad. But my grandmother received not an offer, but a call from the IRS that she owed taxes. So that's another one. And she actually bought it and took out a whole bunch of money. This was years ago. But the other one that I think a lot of people are also falling to that I'm seeing in my practice, in addition to the romance ones, are people such as John Noling. A couple years ago, he was in Spain. He couldn't get back from Spain. He reached out to me and asked me to send money because he had no money where he was. And I almost fell for it because I love John Noling. So I just wanted to bring those things to your attention because they're things that I see pretty regularly.
Yeah, that is an updated version of the old Nigerian prince scam. Okay. The princes are coming after me.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
This is the last question.
All right, so let me do this. I'm going to leave my contact information. If anybody has questions or wants to reach out by email, feel free to do so.
I'm hearing some people in finance recommending that we freeze our credit. Do you think that's a good idea or necessary?
There are a number of options to deal with your credit, either freezing it, you can put alerts on it. There are different levels of how you freeze it. To, wide open, you can do whatever you want, which isn't the safest way. The scammers get Social Security numbers more and more and more every day, and your personal information. So putting some sort of alert on it so you're at least aware of it at a minimum. but there are different levels. You can make it so that you have to verify things. You can make it so that it's just completely locked down. There's different levels, and I would recommend talking to somebody, finance people, and figuring out what the right fit is for you. If you're planning on buying a house or a car soon, maybe freezing it isn't the right answer because you're going to have a big mess. If you think you're locked down, you're not going to open any credit cards up in a next while, it might be the best answer for you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Great presentation. Just a moment is, as an honorarium, we contribute to a partnership of Rotary International, just went on the floor, is for disaster relief called Shelter Box. And so we appreciate your presentation, and as an honorarium, we're giving to Shelter Box. So thank you very much. Great presentation today. Mike, can we move to the birthday slide? We have birthdays, upcoming birthdays, Christine Robert, Marty Farabee, and Jane Klingman Scott. I think we have at least one in the crowd today. So if we would, please, let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Well, thank you, and your friendly reminder every week is if you have a birthday, please consider contributing to the Caring Connection, which benefits all of our Rotarians. So you can do that by making a contribution to an envelope to my side. There's links on the rim, and there's also a QR code that's available for that too. At this time, as you may be aware, Muskegon Rotarians and a local high school student, along with other Rotarians and students, are heading to Honduras this weekend to work on a new library at a public school. Today we hear from Sarah Burkus, Director of SHISPA, I think I pronounced that right, a group that provides and creates public libraries in Honduras. This organization will be receiving benefits of our program funds and our volunteer services. So if you would, Mike, please play the video.
Hi, my name is Sarah Brakane, and I am the Executive Director and founder of Chispa Project in Honduras, where we create school libraries for children, helping kids get their first access to books. And we're really excited to be working with the Muskegon Rotary Club for a second year as volunteers come down and help support the creation and installation of children's libraries. So Chispa Project has a team of staff that work in Honduras to help vet and find schools that need library programs. Currently, we have over 470 schools on our wait list. Each year, depending on our funds, we're able to put in an additional 10 libraries in schools. And then we have international volunteers come and help with some of our bigger schools. And so they'll help sticker books, make an inventory, set up bookshelves, help paint murals, and help work in the infrastructure that's already there alongside of the community. And so they'll help with that installation and then also help with the inauguration of the library. This consists of children moving through reading activities and the teachers getting to put into practice what they've learned in workshops with Chispa Project. So how to read out loud, how to get students engaged, how to do critical thinking questions. And so these activities will happen during the inauguration, and we need those international volunteers to help out with these very busy days of installing and inaugurating the library. Well, we're so grateful to the support you've already helped provide in creating a library for 1,000 kids last year. And so we want to thank the folks that have participated in that in so many meaningful ways this last year, as well as this upcoming year.
Well, thank you, Mike. Well, we do have a few people who will be attending or going on this trip. I'll name all of them that are going, but for those of you that are here today, if you would stand up, I'd appreciate it. Linda Garzaloni and her grandson Landon, new member Tara Foreman and her son Emerson, Marcia Hovey Wright, Jamie Hecker, Sarah Rinsma Sibiga, and her son Elias. So thank you very much for your efforts and safe travels. At this time, we'll be inducting 2 new members. So if Amy Campanelli, with her sponsor Marcia Hovey Wright, and Kayla Colby and her sponsor Pete DeBoer, would you please come forward? At this time, I will ask Marcia and Pete to introduce Amy and Kayla.
I'm Marcia Hovey Wright, and I am so happy that we got Amy Campanelli. She came with so much enthusiasm. She really wants to get to know our community, and obviously the Rotary is a great way to do it properly at best. And already she made a connection with a group that Tim Arter knows about just today. So I wanted to, her resume is quite impressive. So I will share most of it with you. Amy Campanelli is the director of the Muskegon County Public Defender's Office. She was appointed to this position by the Board of Commissioners of Muskegon County, and I was one of them, and took office in June 10th of 24. She heads an office of 30 staff members, 30 plus, and it includes attorneys, holistic mitigation unit and investigation unit, support staff, and interns. The Muskegon County Public Defender defends indigent adults charged with felonies and misdemeanors, minors charged with juvenile under the juvenile court, indigent parents facing the removal of their children by the state, and also provides legal representation at mental health hearings involving competency and civil commitments and involuntary medication. I've never seen anybody so enthusiastic about getting to know Muskegon community. She bought a house. She's actually one of Susan Crane's neighbors in Terrace Point. Yes, okay. Prior to her appointment to Muskegon County, Ms. Campanelli was the Vice President of Restorative Justice for the Lawndale Christian Legal Center, nonprofit organization, and she was there from May of 21 to October of 23. As Vice President of Restorative Justice, Amy oversaw the LC's model by providing holistic community-based services as well as criminal court system through policy organizing and training. Before that, she was the 10th public defender of Cook County, and she was head of this office from 2015 to 2021. She was the second female public defender of Cook County, which is a biggie. And this was after 27 years serving, representing the indigent. Before that, she was Chief Assistant Public Defender of Cook County Bridgeview Courthouse in 2028, and she was there until 2010. She coordinated all death penalty litigation and organized jury focus groups and spearheaded litigation conference. Huh? It's too much. Yeah, you're telling me too much.
Stop talking.
And I've only got,
I'm telling her to stop talking.
Okay, I'll try to summarize. There was so much good stuff. I had trouble not underlining it. She's a frequent lecturer and trainer in mental health issues, trial advocacy, trial preparation, and therapeutic courts. Let's see, let's go to the awards. In 2020, the she was the police station representation unit. It was recognized by the NACO, which is a big deal, National Association of Counties, and for her major contribution in advancing criminal justice and public safety. And then during COVID, she worked to obtain a release of over 2,000 clients from Cook County Jail, and were able to hook them up with necessary services, so they were not a danger to the community. She was on MSNBC as a result of that, informing, well, because of what she did during COVID. Chicago Magazine in 2020 named her as one of the 50 most powerful women in Chicago. And in May of 2020, the Chicago Daily Law Bulletin and Chicago Lawyers Magazine honored her as one of the most influential women in the law. So how did we get her? We were lucky. Okay. So many rewards. I'll just go to the end. She's married. Her husband actually is still working in Chicago. He's working on selling their house. They have 3 kids, and she's been active in her church. So
I just want to say my Michigan roots stem from my mother. My mother grew up in Detroit. My 5 siblings were born here in Grosse Pointe Woods, and we traveled to Michigan all the time to the east side, but I love the west side here now. And I just want to say this is a wonderful community, and Marcia has been fabulous to bring me into the community, and I look forward to being a Rotarian. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, hey everybody, Pete DeBoer here with Kayla Colby, and I'm just bringing up her, if I can find it. There it is. Okay. Kayla and I met last year, and she was interested in Rotary and getting more into the community. And I said, you should really come to Rotary. We've got a lot of people that are interested in getting you involved in the community. So here she is. Kayla Colby is an estate planning and business law attorney at Parmenter Law here in Muskegon. After graduating from Reese Puffer Q in 2015, Kayla attended the University of Michigan, where she earned her Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies. While attending U of M, Kayla had the opportunity to live in Naxos, Greece, for a summer to assist a PhD student working on her thesis. Kayla enjoyed the international experience so much that the following school year, she studied abroad in New Zealand for a semester. It was during this experience that Kayla decided that she wanted to go to law school. After graduating from U of M in 2019, Kayla attended Michigan State's law school. Cute. You get both of them. I love it. Kayla lives in Norton Shores with her husband, Kyle, and their almost 9-year-old golden retriever, Luna. In her free time, Kayla enjoys lounging at her parents' house on Twin Lake, taking Luna to the beach, reading, and boating with her family. After moving away from Muskegon for school, Kayla is excited to be settled back home and for the opportunities Rotary will bring to re-engage her back in her home community.
Thank you. At this time, I will have Amy and Kayla move towards the podium a little bit here. Amy and Kayla, you have been chosen for membership in Muskegon Rotary Club as a person of good character, high ethical standards, heart for service, and ideals of Rotary. Fellowship and friendship are the first aims and rewards of Muskegon Rotary membership. You will enjoy a network of leaders and professionals who are committed to welcoming and mentoring you. We are admitting you into Muskegon Rotary Club and to the Fellowship of Rotary throughout the world. Membership is an honor and a privilege with its corresponding obligations. Your regular attendance will nurture your understanding and commitment to our principal motto, service above self. Every member is expected to perform his or her share of club service, community service, participation in fundraisers to support our charitable beneficiaries, and the ideal of friendship and networking. As you expect to receive, so must you also give. If you accept these obligations, please say, I do. I do. I do. Lastly, I have a challenge for you to share the gift of membership in Rotary. Invite another person with your same qualities of character to join Muskegon Rotary in the next 6 months. Do you accept this challenge by saying, I do? I do. Thank you. Amy and Kayla, in the name of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I hereby formally admit you to membership in this club. I now provide to you your PIN, some directories, and the 4-way test. Lots of goodies today. Rotary members and guests, please rise and welcome the newest Rotarians in the world, Amy Campanelli and Kayla Colby. Thank you very much. We have a few announcements today. There will be no rewind meeting today. Meredith Smiley and Brianna, if you come forward. And Annette. While they're coming up, a reminder that there's a new member Coffee Connect, which will be held Tuesday, February 18th at the Lakeshore Museum Center from 8 o'clock to 9 a.m. And a social committee event will be held on February 26th at Muskegon Museum of Art, including a tour of the new renovations. That event on February 26th will be from 5:30 to 7. Details will follow. Come ahead, Annette.
Annette Jack, part of your Peace Builders Committee, and our Peace Builders Committee is hosting our second workshop by Braver Angels. Our first workshop last year was shared by about 30 of us, and we had a chance to listen to others and share our perspective in a safe environment with people that we knew and trusted. Braver Angels is an organization that teaches skills for a different kind of conversation. A conversation in which people who may disagree politically listen carefully to one another and as a result may become more aware of the validity of opposite views, or at least understand the other's viewpoint, or how they arrived at that viewpoint, even if we don't agree with it. The goal is to bring us together rather than divide us, so we can find common ground and ways to work together in our community and in our organization. You can sign up to participate or to observe. Kim Boersma sent us an email this week on how to do that. The date is Friday, March 21st from 9 until noon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am coming to you as your district governor today. Yay. I have 5 more months, so I'm counting down, as I'm sure Tim is. It's a lot of work, but I'm so excited to be here this afternoon to share with you all that we will be having a district conference. If you all recall, we had to cancel the fall conference because a lot of people waited till the last minute to register. And so I am here before you today to ask you not to do the same thing twice. We will be having what is now rebranded as the Rotary District 6290 Empowerment and Leadership Summit. Doesn't that sound snazzy, right? And that's going to be on May 3rd through 4th at the Hilt Building. We will be partying the whole day and a half. This is a Saturday through Sunday. We're going to have breakout sessions. We are going to have panel discussions. We have a world-renowned magician that is coming. In addition to that, we have a DJ and we're going to have dancing. We're going to have great food. We're going to give out awards to clubs. So this is going to be a really fantastic opportunity for you all to get to know fellow Rotarians from all the way up in Wawa, Canada, all the way down to Holland, Michigan. And so I'm asking you all to please register. You should have each received an email today from Kathy Hegedus. Check your email now to make sure you got it. With the registration link, the cost is only $175. And you're getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Saturday and breakfast on Sunday, in addition to all the great entertainment and learning. So I think that is a great deal. So I'm hoping to see you all there May 3rd through 4th. Again, it is the, what's the new name again? The District 6290 Empowerment and Leadership Summit. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Well, I'll try and follow that. It is hard to believe, but we are coming to spring sports. And pitchers and catchers reported, so there's an end in sight to winter here in Michigan. But in March, we will kick off our annual Brave Rotarians March Madness contest. So if you're interested in participating, you can email me. There'll be a note in the rim coming to Susan and Jackie shortly. But again, this is a great way that you can support the Rotary Foundation and the amazing work that the Rotary Foundation does here locally and across the globe. I'm getting bonus points from Brianna Scott here on this one today. So feel free to give your $100 cash, check, or credit card, and you will be a lucky participant in the March Madness. So let me know if you have any other additional questions. But again, this can fulfill your annual contribution to the Muskegon Rotary Foundation. Your money is tax deductible. It goes to where you want it to go in the world and supporting Rotary causes. And, you know, you could come out with a Paul Harris Fellow. So can I say it? Go Blue, even though I think Tom Izzo's team is on fire right now. So go Green too.
Just to add to that, a couple of years ago, we started using both the men's and women's brackets. So get your $100 in while you still have a spot open for it, and I look forward to your participation. Just the last announcement is that in March, President-elect Dave Alexander will be emailing committee co-chairs to submit fiscal year 2025-2026 budget requests. So in the coming weeks, I recommend that the committee co-chairs anticipate this request by developing budgets in concert with their committee members. And so please respond to him with your amounts you're requesting and your underlying assumptions and data that will help in that decision. So next we move to Ed Hendrickson, who's at the back of the room for the raffle. I didn't forget it this week. $10 for the first one. Eight four eight. Congratulations, Mayor. $5. $838. Oh, there we go, Jay. for 20. 796. Roger Morgenstern. So next week we, whoa. I lost it. Okay, our program next week will be Black Entrepreneurs and New Businesses in Muskegon. I think it's going to be a great program. At this time, please rise to recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Do kids goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Safe travels. We are adjourned.